Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today, I'll be going over all of the secrets and Easter eggs in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Originally, Ocarina of Time was released back in 1998, and to this day is still considered to be one of the greatest games of all time. Ocarina of Time was eventually remade for the Nintendo 3DS back in 2011. Wow, it's already been 10 years since the remake. That's crazy. Well, hopefully soon, Nintendo can make an HD version for the Switch. And for the sake of today's video, for the most part, I'll be covering the original Nintendo 64 version of the game. Oh, and hey, if you guys don't mind, if you find these kind of videos interesting, can you hit the subscribe button? 98% of the people who watch my content are not subscribed to me. So, if you enjoy my content, why not just hit the subscribe button? It really helps me out. Well, with that being said, let's jump right into some secrets and Easter eggs. Before we even start up the game and get into it, the title screen actually has a secret in store for us. If you listen closely, you can hear these notes. If you have ever played Super Mario Bros. 3, or the original Legend of Zelda, you may recognize these as the slowdown version of the warp whistle. There's a little drawing outside of Link's house. Many people speculated that it may be foreshadowing the final encounter with Ganon. But what do you guys think it's there for? And while we're here in Kokiri Forest, did you ever find getting money for the Deku Shield in the beginning of the game a little bit tedious? Well, here's a few ways to speed up that process. There's 5 hidden rubies on side of the shop. You get another 5 for doing flips over these stones. And a couple other little secret ones hidden here and there. If you cut or accidentally blow up a sign, you can use Zelda's Lullaby to repair it. This is a reoccurring secret in future Zelda games. This is the first Zelda game to introduce gossip stones. These stones will tell you hints, secrets, lore, and even the time of day. But they actually do a lot more than that. You can interact with them many different ways to get multiple different results. This has been a recurring secret in the future titles. Getting lost in the Lost Woods is something that happened to all of us at one point in time, but instead of trying to remember all of these directions, what if there was an easier way? Well, there kinda is. There's 2 different methods. The first is being able to listen to the music. The music will stay the same if you are on the correct path, however, if you are near the wrong path, it will start to get quieter. The second method is to look for the light. The light is on the incorrect path, and if there is no light at all on a path, then that means it is the correct path. Speaking of the Lost Woods, did you know that you can actually kill the Skull Kid with a big Goron sword? Doing so, he will drop a big orange rupee upon death. But be aware, as all of the events of Majora's Mask will never occur. One of the guards who open the front gate will say the phrase, "It's a secret to everyone," a reoccurring phrase starting from the original Legend of Zelda game. Princess Zelda will also say, "It's a secret to everybody," upon meeting her for the first time. One of the most well-known Easter eggs is when meeting Zelda for the first time, you can see pictures and images of Mario characters on the windows of the castle. If you use a slingshot at the windows, a guard will throw a bomb at you. When Navi turns green in random locations like this, try playing your ocarina. For example, at this location in Hyrule Field, let's play the Song of Storms and see what happens. Ah, it's a Mega Fairy. You can't capture this one as it's superior to the other fairies. This one will restore magic and health. Speaking of making fairies spawn out of nowhere, if you let a butterfly land on a Deku stick, this is a lot harder than it looks, trust me, it will eventually turn into a fairy. If you spend enough time fighting the Stalfos in Hyrule Field at night, eventually a very large one will spawn that drops a blue rupee. This can also be done with other enemies in the games, such as levers and keys in the desert. And if you wear the bunny hood, the Stalfos won't come out and attack you at all. The laugh for stall children actually uses Phantom Ganon's laugh just sped up. Speaking of hanging out in Hyrule Field, if you wait until night and stand on the drawbridge while it gets pulled up, you can actually find a few hidden rupees. There's a pretty funny dialogue option when you talk to Princess Ruto while wearing the Zora mask as a kid. Many NPCs throughout the game will react differently with different masks on. Go on and try it yourself and see what you can come up with. If you play Epona's song in front of cows with an empty bottle, they will speak, tell you how it's a nice song, then give you a bottle of Lon Lon milk. Speaking of playing the ocarina, you can actually change the pitch or tone of the notes by using the D-pad and the control stick. In the 3DS version of the game at Lon Lon Ranch, there's a Skyward Sword image in one of the bedrooms upstairs. One of the most obvious secrets and Easter eggs is the emblem Malon wears is actually Bowser's face. Maybe she's just a fan of the Mario games. Talon and his big brother Indigo are obvious references to Mario and Luigi. Talon is big and round, wearing red and blue, and Indigo is tall and slim, wearing green. After saving Lon Lon Ranch from Indigo, you then have access to Malon's time trial minigame. If you get under 50 seconds in this minigame, you'll be rewarded with a cow back in Link's house. I wonder how they got a cow up there and how he's going to get down to eat. In Dodongo's cavern, there is an Easter egg that not many people know about. Once you reach this section of the cave, you'll come across a sign. Let's take a closer look at this sign. Wait a second. I've seen this before. This is the famous L is real sign from Super Mario 64. Did you know that baby Dodongos eat explosives just like King Dodongo? The keys or bats will not attack you when you have the skull mask on. This is very helpful in rooms like this, as those bats can get extremely annoying. And speaking of killing enemies, if you happen to shoot a light arrow at enemies, they will usually drop a big purple rupee. With early copies of this game, more specifically version copy of NTSC 1.1 or below, there are various changes to the game, such as hearing Islamic chants in the Fire Temple, Ganon's blood changing from red to green, the blood on the floor and the bottom of the well, and much more, like fixes with the text and cutscene skips. However, in Virtual Console releases of the game, versions 1.2 and above, they replaced the Gerudo Sign's dungeon blocks and the Mirror Shield's crescent moon and star symbols with the Gerudo symbol that was used in Majora's Mask. The most common copies are usually NTSC 1.2. If you would like to check what version you have and the version differences, there will be a link down below. After collecting 20 gold Skulltula tokens, you'll be rewarded with the Stone of Agony, which resembles an N64 rumble pack. This is used to find secret holes and items by rumbling when you are near them. A viewer of my old video had pointed out an Easter egg to me that I had never known about. After rescuing the 4 carpenters in Gerudo Fortress, there is a woman who speaks to you. What's weird is, if you change which tunic color you are wearing, she will also change her dress colors to the one that you are wearing. For example, wear the blue tunic and she'll wear blue. A little bit of a more well-known Easter egg is that you can actually steal the fisherman's hat and if you lose his hat in the water, he won't wear it in the end credits. While we are here at the fishing hole, you can actually find the sinking lure in a couple different locations. You can use the Megaton hammer to flip Tektites over to stun them and get an easy kill. Walking backwards is the fastest method of transportation aside from glitches, Epona, and warping. That's why you will see a lot of speedrunners walking backwards. If you walk slowly or sneak around redeads, they won't actually notice you. Or additionally, you can use the Sun Song to stun any redeads. Great, now they won't be constantly humping my head. Okay, so I explained this heart piece in my original video and a lot of people didn't seem to understand it. Originally, I didn't want to go over any glitches in this video, but I just wanted to clear the air with this one. This is an out-of-bounds heart piece that can only be collected by using cheating methods. Most people were mistaking this as heart piece number 34, where you use the scarecrow to hookshot over to a chest. However, that is a completely different, yet similar location to the other heart piece. Within the Spirit Temple, you come across this statue, which you can hookshot her chest. Oh, and there is another Skyward Sword image in the Gerudo Fortress, exclusive to the 3DS version of the game. If you do a flip over the Cauldron of Lava in Gerudo's Fortress, you'll be rewarded with some rupees. A little bit of a fun fact is that when they were testing Z targeting in this game, they imported an R-Wing from Star Fox. Modders and hackers have found a way to import these back into the game. Have you ever tried beating the Running Man's challenge from Gerudo's Valley to Kokori Forest? Well, I bet you haven't beat it because it's actually impossible to beat it. Again, hackers and modders have tested this out with cheating methods, but it's actually programmed into the game to lose to him every single time. There is no possible way to beat him. Within Ganon's castle, you can find a secret room using the Lens of Truth. Within this room is a few fairies and Deku shrubs that'll sell you items. When fighting Ganondorf in Dead Man's Valley, you can use a bottle to reflect back his light attacks. This is originally a reference to how you can use the bug net to reflect back Agathim's attacks in A Link to the Past. However, many future Zelda titles have adapted this battle technique into its battles. Ganon is the only enemy in the game where Deku Nuts will actually do damage. All enemies in the game will get stunned by them instead. After the end credits, leave the screen idle for a little bit and you can hear some ocarina notes. These are the same notes that you created with the Scarecrow. This feature is not in the Virtual Console GameCube or 3DS versions of this game. And that's about all I got for you guys today. If I happen to miss any secrets or Easter eggs, please let me know down below in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like and share it with some friends. I've also made other Zelda Easter egg videos such as Breath of the Wild, Skyward Sword, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and a few more. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd highly suggest checking out some of those other videos. And if I were you, I'd hit that subscribe button because I've got another Zelda Easter egg video coming out pretty soon that I think you guys might like.